You don't recognize yourself anymore. Because the person you've become is a performance designed to make everyone else comfortable while you slowly disappear. You stand in front of the mirror, staring at your reflection, wondering who that stranger is and why they feel like a ghost living inside your skin. You're not lost. You're buried under years of pretending, under expectations you never questioned, under masks you forgot you were wearing. You've built versions of yourself to survive rooms that were never meant for you, until the disguise became a second skin you can't take off. Every morning you wake up and play the role, the good employee, the loyal friend, the responsible adult who never complains. You adapt, you mold, you shapeshift into whatever version the world demands, until you forget what your true shape even looks like. You've spent so long being what others needed that you can't tell what you need anymore, or what truly makes you feel alive. That confusion you call being lost is your real self screaming from underneath all the lies you've been living. You look around and nothing feels like yours. Not your job, not your relationships, not even your thoughts. You maintain things out of obligation, not passion. You exist out of habit, not purpose, and everything feels strangely hollow. The void inside you isn't depression, it's the space where your authentic self used to live before you evicted it for approval. You keep trying to fix yourself, but you're fixing a version that was never real. A ghost you built to be liked and safe. You've read the books, done the journaling, practiced gratitude, and chased improvement like salvation, but nothing fills the emptiness. Because the problem isn't that you're not enough, it's that you're trying to improve a mask instead of removing it. The person you're working so hard to fix doesn't exist. They're a character you created to survive a world that didn't want your truth. You don't need to find yourself. You need to stop being everyone else, to peel back every layer that isn't yours. Every belief, every habit, every dream you borrowed to belong, they're walls, not wings, and they're keeping you trapped. But the thought of meeting your real self terrifies you. Because what if you don't like what's underneath? What if the unfiltered you is too much, too different, too real for the world to love, or even for you to accept? That fear keeps you performing, smiling, pretending, staying small, because at least this version feels safe, even if it's not alive. You learned early that being yourself was dangerous, that honesty made people uncomfortable. So you edited your soul to survive. Every time someone called you too emotional, too weird, too loud, you cut off another piece to make yourself easier to love. You became a patchwork of other people's expectations, a Frankenstein soul stitched together with threads of approval. You weren't trying to be fake, you were trying to be loved, trying to belong, trying to stay safe in a world that rewards pretending. Adaptation was your armor until it became your prison, until you couldn't remember what freedom even felt like. Every truth you buried created another layer of silence, another distance between who you are and who you appear to be. The exhaustion you feel isn't from working too hard. It's from maintaining a lie so convincing even you started believing it. You spend your days remembering which version of yourself belongs in which room, never letting the real one slip through. And you envy people who seem at ease in their skin. But deep down you know, most of them are performing too. They're just better at it. Or maybe they've never questioned who's really behind their own performance. But you can't unknow what you now know. That you've been living someone else's life in your own body. You followed scripts you never wrote, chasing dreams that never belonged to you, and now it all feels meaningless. That emptiness isn't failure. It's awakening, the collapse of the false self, the beginning of becoming real again. You're not falling apart, you're finally seeing through the illusion, stepping into the uncomfortable space between false and true. It's terrifying, this in-between. There's no map, no promise, no applause. But it's where rebirth happens. You can't go back to sleep, can't unknow the truth, can't unsee the mask slipping even if it was safer before. So here's what you do. Start saying no to what feels wrong, even when you can't explain why it feels wrong. Notice what drains you and what fills you. Notice the moments when you feel real, even if they scare you. Stop trying to be consistent. Real people aren't consistent. They're evolving, messy, contradictory, alive. You're not a brand, you're a soul. You don't need a unified message. You need room to breathe and to change. Give yourself permission to disappoint people, to be misunderstood, to take up too much space, to be human. Let yourself want things that don't make sense, that don't impress anyone, that exist only to make you feel alive. You don't owe anyone an explanation for changing. You don't need to apologize for evolving. Start with one honest moment a day, one real emotion, one unfiltered truth, one mask you refuse to wear. You'll see that most people won't leave when you show them your truth. And the ones who do were never really there. Experiment with yourself. Try new things not to improve but to discover what feels like home in your own skin. Follow curiosity instead of obligation. Follow joy instead of validation. Follow peace instead of perfection. You'll start to notice patterns, preferences, and dreams that were always yours, just buried under survival. This process is messy, slow, uncertain. It's not self-improvement, it's self-resurrection. You'll doubt yourself. You'll relapse into pretending. You'll grieve who you were, even if that version was a lie. But every time you choose truth over approval, the real you breathes a little easier. You'll stop needing to perform because you'll start believing that your existence doesn't require justification. You're not lost, you're buried. And the work isn't finding yourself, it's digging yourself out. Out from under the roles you played, the masks you wore, the lies you believed to be loved, you'll uncover the person who's been there all along, waiting patiently beneath the noise. Stop trying to become someone worthy. You already are. You just forgot because the world told you otherwise. You don't need to fix what isn't broken. You need to remember what's real beneath all the pretending. You don't need to find yourself. You need to stop abandoning yourself every time you feel inconvenient. Stop editing your truth to make it more palatable. Start living like your authenticity is sacred. The real you isn't lost out there. It's trapped in here, begging to be freed. You're not lost. You're not broken. You're just finally waking up. And that's the beginning of everything.